First of all, hi, Reggie Whitley here, and I am so excited that you guys decided to join me on this live. I know that I am probably the last person you ever expected to see, period, much less at midnight. And I know that you're probably saying to yourself, well, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Well, I was here about an hour ago, and I ain't have no sound. But you know who had a good time on that live by himself? This guy. I had the time of my life on that live. And you want to know how good of a time I had? A good enough time to say, you know what, I'm going to do it all over again. I ain't got nothing else to do. My city's on curfew. What else do I have to do with my time? So I was sitting here like an hour ago, and I sent out my last email for the day. That's been looking diligently, guys. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to go live. Right before I closed my computer down, I said, I don't have nothing else to do. Y'all know I'd be over there on the headquarter campus on the TikTok, and I'd be having me a good time. And I'd be forgetting I'd be having a whole campus over here. You know what I'm saying? And I said, I got to give them something. I got to do something. I got to start showing up. I got to be consistent over there. My people are over there, but those are my people too. You know what I mean? Y'all my people too. So, pretty much right. Okay, so I was on here talking my good talk, telling my best jokes in the midnight hour. And one of the things that I don't appreciate, me and Facebook, we be having it out. Me and Mark Zuckerberg, we go blow for blow. I'm out here fighting with the billionaires. You know what I'm saying? He don't know nothing about it. But that's okay. And one of the things that I'm having out with the guy about is I don't get any notifications when people comment on my lives. I don't see the comments over here. I can't see a thing. For some unknown reason, my live decided it was gonna internet was gonna go out. Internet is fine everywhere else. Internet ain't messed up on none else, but it messed up on this live, and that's what made me pick up my phone and look at the comments to see there was no sound. But you wanna know what? You're gonna watch this replay, and you're gonna get as much joy and as much education out of this one that you would if you would have watched the other one, because that was a good one. I was doing my good work. So this is really about when you start a business or a nonprofit here in Mississippi, especially in Mississippi. It's not just here, but if you start a business or a nonprofit here in Mississippi, stuff get to moving, and you try to figure out, what's going on. We got to slay a demon tonight. Stuff. You do a business started here. They'll just start sending you letter after letter after letter. It'll be different companies from different addresses, different parts of the United States. Some are from Mississippi, some are from DC, and it'll make you think that you spent all that good money, that good hard-earned money that you have, or that good easy-earned money. Because by God's grace, everybody ain't making hard-earned money. Some people out here making good, easy-earned money. You know what I'm saying? But you spent your money, um, getting your stuff established because you're the Mississippi Secretary of State. If you do a nonprofit or a business, a for-profit business, you spend $50, $53 actually and 15 cents if you pay it online, because it's $50 for $3 and 15 cents, 15, 17 cents, something like that. If you pay online, you spent that already. You got your EIN. I've done videos on all this before, guys. You got your EIN for free through the IRS. But then some of you got to come back to the Mississippi Secretary of State or whatever state that you're in and register for a fictitious name, or it's called a DBA in some cases, or you have to register for like the charity registry or whatever. That's another like $50. So much stuff, and you get these letters, and you like, I got to spend some more money. Well, you don't. Let's just put that out there starting off. So I have these letters that I've received very recently, within the past month and a half. And we're just gonna go through now. I'm not gonna play her for no long time because I got things and I got to do, get in my bed, put my bed together and watch TikTok. Because I've been working today and I ain't had time for as much TikTok as I would like. So I gotta go. But I wanted to come on here and give y'all this. So you have this one first from the ESCS. I hope it shows up clearly. I hope it doesn't blur. If it does, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. Just use your imagination. So this is from the ESCS, and it's from the state of Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi. And what it is saying is that you need the 2025 state and federal all-in-one labor law poster. How much do they say it's going to cost you? They say it's going to cost you I'm gonna show you because don't believe me. $105. $105 for the Mississippi and federal all-in-one labor law poster. You can get this. Is first of all, you don't need this. On here it says that you are obligated under federal law to display this current compliance labor law poster in the workplace. That is only necessary if you have a workspace, which means an office, a building that you guys work in, and you have employees. A lot of people don't have employees. A lot of people are just working out of their house. You don't need this poster. They don't break all that down to you on here because they want your 105. They that's what they want. They want your 105. And you guys probably sending it to them. Silly. So they're not going to tell you that you don't need this if you're just working out of your house. They're not going to tell you that even if you do have an office space, you probably don't need it because if we're being honest, a lot of y'all don't be running y'all stuff right and you're not technically legally an employee. And so you wouldn't need it if you're not an employee because this is only for if you have employees. Um, but if you do have an office space, if you do have a building with employees, you would need this. It is obligated and required by the federal law, but it's not $105. You can go literally to Amazon and get that bad boy for like $25, $30. Now, here's the thing. If you find one on Amazon for $20, I save you a good 80 bucks. Now, I'm not saying you got to cash out that 80 bucks to me, but I'm just gonna move on to the next one. So this one is from don't cash at me that $80, guys. You know, unless you just want to. This is from the National Business Services. Surely, sure you don't understand. Surely this is real. No, 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 no. I don't think you guys heard me. Surely this is real because you see it's from what? It's from Pennsylvania Avenue. Now, I don't know the address to the White House offhand, but I believe it's on Pennsylvania Avenue. So this has to be real. Here's how they get a lot of you. They get a lot of you because you don't know any better and you have it in your mind. You're saying, well, I didn't tell anybody that I was doing this. I didn't tell anybody that I was starting this business. I didn't tell anybody the business name. I didn't tell anybody that I registered it on the day that I registered it. So surely these have to be legitimate forms, legitimate documents that are sent to me, and that is just simply not true. These people have some kind of way gotten access to the state and federal database so they know who registers, when they register, and they will send and they get your personal information clearly because they have not just your business name but also your mailing address, and they're mailing you these letters. The reason why I know that a lot of people are doing it is because they have been sending these out for years, and these are different companies. Do you know how expensive it must be for them to print these letters out, print out the envelopes, pay somebody to do that work, then to put it in the envelope, use their saliva? Do you know how much saliva got to be used to send these out to everybody? Use they spit to lick your envelope, stamp it, and put it in the mail in the mailbox for it to be shipped out. And they do this every single day for everybody that starts a business. And that lets me know they're making a killing because people keep falling for it. Because if people were not falling for it, they would not keep doing it. These people are wise. They're saying we're not going to give you a price. We're not going to scare you away. We'll just tell you that you have to have your EIN or your tax ID. We'll just tell you that you have to have your labor law posters. We'll just tell you that you have to have your certificate of status. Here's the thing. In the state of Mississippi, there's nothing called a certificate of status. We don't have it. So I don't know who in DC at the National Business Services said we got to send this to those people down there in Mississippi. We don't even have a certificate of status. Now, we have something called a certificate of existence. We have something called a certificate of good standing, but we don't have a certificate of status. So no need in even bringing that part up. Your labor law posters, I'm telling you already, go to Amazon, 25 bucks. Your EIN, you get it from, you would think they would know they're in Washington, D.C. because you get it from the IRS and it's free. But if you scan the QR code, they're going to charge you quite a bit to get each one of those things. And what they'll probably do for some of you, they'll probably put it in a package deal. Make it look like you're getting it at a steal to make you feel like you're getting something special and to make you feel like you can go ahead, pay them for it, and that's what you need. It's not what you need, guys. Don't fall for the okie doke. This is from Ridgeland, Mississippi. It's from the Mississippi Certificate Service. Mississippi Certificate Service. What do you need? You need the 2025 Certificate of Existence. That's what you need. The 2020, not the 2024 one, not the 2023. You need the 2025 one, the latest edition. Say I be getting y'all. Let me not. Because what I was going to say was so uncalled for. You need the 2025 edition. But at least they have earned my respect a little bit more than the others, because at least they tell you here that you have to have it, but the service fee is $65.09. Where the 9 cent come from, I don't know. I ain't them. I don't work there, guys. I don't know. $65.09. And then they'll tell you that the Mississippi Secretary of State fee, where y'all heard that from? Who said that? Did I say that? I said that, didn't I? It's 25 bucks. Would you look at that? At least they tell you, you send us $90.09. Maybe that's what they want to do. Maybe they want to do like the 9009. No. But at least they tell you, you send us $90.09. We're only giving away 25 of it. The other 60 you're giving to us, the other 65. They have respect for me. Now, are there people who do this? Sure. Sure. You go to ReggieWhittley.com. You even see on my site, I have package deals where I can do your applications and stuff for you. But I'm not about to charge you, nor most people that I know who do this service, they're not about to charge you $65 for this. They're not about to charge you $100 for an EIN. Where is that paper? This is from the Mississippi Business Filing Center right there in Jackson, Mississippi. Right there in Jackson, Mississippi. Now, the small print up here will let you know that this is really an advertisement. That's what the small print up here will let you know. But who's going to read this little small box? We are just looking at the fact that these are important new business documents that we need. And how much are they? They're $399.89. What do you need? You need an EIN for $199.95. You need a the labor law poster, state and federal mandated. They have it underlined. They have it in red. It is required by state and federal law for $124.95. And at least I got the name right. The certificate of existence, $89.25, a total of $399.89. Okay, so first of all, I have done a walkthrough in one of these videos somewhere of how to get your EIN. I'm sure of it. I'm sure it's somewhere in this. I think Facebook has taken down my lives by now, but they're somewhere. They're probably on YouTube on how to get your EIN through the IRS directly for free. Now, the thing is, I don't charge to do an EIN for anybody because I don't do anybody's EIN unless it's within a package that is overloaded with other stuff, and the EIN is just something I threw in just because. But I will never charge somebody to do an EIN because I'm not going to do it just as a one-off service, because it is so easy. You can do it yourself for free. Whether you do it online or you mail it in, it's free from the IRS. Don't pay nobody $200 just to do your EIN. Now, Unc not mad, he just hurt. Okay. Unc not mad, he just hurt that y'all might be out here falling for the okie doke. Because if you wasn't falling for it, I wouldn't have gotten another letter. 2025 Mississippi Certificate of Good Standing. 2025 Mississippi, that is the exact same as the Certificate of Existence. Those terms are used interchangeably. They're literally the same thing. When you go to the Mississippi Secretary of State, which is sos.ms.gov, when you go to the Mississippi Secretary of State, which is sos.ms.gov, and when you click on the business button, the button that says go to the business side, and you scroll and you click around until you find the fee list. There's a PDF of fee list. It'll show you certificate of good standing and articles of existence. Now, it gets a little tricky apparently. I was talking to somebody about getting theirs not long ago. You rarely ever need that certificate. The only time I've ever seen somebody need it right then, was when they were opening up a bank account. This is not something that you get and just hold on to in case the time comes. Why? Because if you have to open up a bank account later, they may say, well, we need a certificate of good standing within the last 7 days, or within the last 14 days, within the last 30 days. You don't just buy this and just hold on to it. So you only get it as you need it, and you rarely ever need it. But if you go to that site and you go there and you start looking around, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and it will show you certificate of good standing slash certificate of existence. Now, again, I was about to say it gets a little tricky, I think, because I was helping somebody or talking to somebody about getting theirs. They needed it to open up a bank account like last week, and they were trying to figure out why was it like 45, $48. And I was like, surely you're doing something wrong. I'm not a know-it-all, but I just been with my stuff. Like, you're doing something wrong, and there's no reason for me to even do anything here. You're go back and look. But I did end up going in there and looking, because at one I was like, how what is happening here? And come to find out, there's a little button that they try to, it tricks you up to get another certificate or something, and it causes the price to go up to like $48 or something like that. Your price should be $25. Don't let them trick you either. Don't let the Secretary of State trick you guys either. You should only be paying $25 on. We want y'all to be out here getting had. But according to them, $87.25. I just came on tonight because they ain't have nothing else to do before you get into bed. Um, I came on here talking my good talk, and I was talking to myself because my sound wasn't working. But I'm back, and I wanted to just share that. God bless. I hope y'all in your own bed tonight, and I hope you have sweet dreams. Hope the boogeyman ain't under your bed. Um, Outside of that, I don't have nothing else to say. I don't ever know how to end a live, so I've given you 17 minutes. I'm probably good until 2026, but I'll be back soon. Have a good night.